Why Maximo for life sciences? Great question. The answer is rooted in what happens when the FDA decides to audit you. Those regulations in Europe, the Annex 11 US 21 CFR Part 11, that's critical. And they have the right to audit you, and it doesn't have to be planned. It can be a surprise. It can be a, hey, we're knocking on your door, snap audit, here we are. So, ever seen one of those, a movie where there's a bunch of lawyers in a room going through stacks of paper, stuff's flying everywhere, everything's like an emergency? That's what happens inside a life sciences company when the FDA shows up and happens to ask the right question. Prove to me that you have all of the things done on time on this particular asset for this particular run and that everything came out okay. Oh no. Why is this a problem? Here's why it's a problem. Because the enterprise is built around a lot of technology, and sometimes that technology is paper or Microsoft Excel. And the way technology grew, it grew in silos. Financial being one of the predominant, primary, original silos. Asset management is another big one. But because all this is in silos, each silo decides what it's going to buy. But the FDA comes in and they don't want to look at a silo. They want to look horizontally. They want to look across. They want to see a process, not a silo of information. So they come in and they want to see a womb to tomb, beginning to end on a particular process, on a particular potentially run, on a line. And oh my God, that is incredibly hard to do. Why? Well, software is built in silos. So what do we need? Well, we need data lakes. Well, there's another $10 million. So that we can answer this question. When the FDA asks a question like this, our customer, the provider, the manufacturer, starts to scramble. And they start with, okay, they're looking at the asset and they're going, where's the information that says we did this? Now, unfortunately, 25-30% of the companies out there are still not using mobile for their maintenance. It doesn't matter what you use, Oracle, SAP, Maximo, any of them. You should be mobile. The tech has been out there forever, but they're not, okay? They haven't embraced that investment because they haven't gone through the business case, the business value assessment, the case study, and realized it's an ROI to give a mobile device to the tech. Nevertheless, they still have a ton of paper out there. And so it's incredible how often this starts with someone going to look up a piece of paper and then they're not looking at it by you can't query paper, man. You got to walk through this stuff manually. So they're going into a folder of a month of all of the work orders done, trying to find the work order, the preventive maintenance work order for that particular asset to prove that the PM was done. And God forbid, FDA says, show me 6 months worth of data. You can imagine how long this takes, right? So these audits aren't a couple hours. These audits could be a few days. And then if everything doesn't go perfectly right, now they're going to ask three or four more questions. If it all goes right, they're probably going to ask another two. But when it doesn't go right, and when you don't look organized, they're going to ask way more questions. So then they start asking about, well, show me the calibrations on it. Show me the repair work on it. Show me the rest of the line. And now things are spiraling out of control. And there's the war room. There's the movie scene. There's all the people in the room, boxes and boxes of paper, people running in and out, asking people to go look stuff up on a computer in some system that's under some guy's desk in some other department. And it's all over the map. Chaos ensues. That's what happens. It's chaos. More often than not, believe it or not, these companies are able to either pass the audit or they're able to come out of it with what we traditionally just call a finding or a CAPA, a corrective action and a preventive action. So there was a finding, there was a problem, it's not worth a shutdown, but you need to close this gap. And so you are going to have to come back within a certain time frame and show the FDA that you have implemented a corrective action and a preventive action so that you won't have another finding like this. As you can imagine, this takes a ton of resources in a short amount of time. Okay, so this wasn't planned, right? So what are these, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 people doing? Or what are they not doing? They had another job. What are they not doing while they're scrambling and rifling through paper and attempting to CYA and protect themselves and the organization? I don't know what the answer is on that part, but it's probably a job that needs to be done. In the meantime, they're spending tens of thousands of dollars of company time on a problem that frankly shouldn't be a problem. When we have Maximo implemented properly in a life sciences environment, we have put all our assets in. We have put all of our job plans in, and we've put all the preventive maintenance schedules in for those job plans. They are generated in advance. They are tracked. If they are deferred, they have a reason that they are deferred that complies with the FDA guidelines. And Maximo records who did what, when they did it, why they did it, and the fact that the job was completed on time. And in the case of calibration, it complies with all of the standards of, your before and after, your multiple measurements on any specific particular measurement line item within your calibration data sheet. And at the end of all of that, because we use the system to plan the work, to schedule the work, to execute the work, and then to record the results of the work, the FDA comes in, you have a nice walk around the plant floor with them, they look at a production line, they ask the question, and you say, let's go back to my desk. You do, run a quick query, look at that asset, put a time frame on it, and you click print. And you hand them the report that comes out of the printer over in the corner of the office. And you're so organized, and the data is so clear and so complete that they say, thank you. And they leave. And you don't spend the next 2 or 3 days in a conference room with 5, 10, 20 people and a ton of paper, boxes, people running around like their hair's on fire, like it's some movie scene. If the organization works that well in that scenario, then surely it has to have some positive impact on the day-to-day operations, no? So when we look at Maximo and the life sciences specifically, the 21 CFR Part 11 regulations, Maximo is built to ensure that you can prove you did what you were supposed to do. It's inherent in the product, the way it's structured. So the reason to use Maximo in a life sciences organization is so you don't have to look over your shoulder. You're not wondering about a looming threat. You know that your books are in order. You know that if you deferred maintenance, you had a reason for it, and it has been recorded, and it's clear, and it's within the guidelines. You know that your assets are being tracked. You know the work's being tracked. You know you're not chasing down paper. You know you're not worried about scans of PDF records somewhere. You know you're not worried about a server under somebody else's desk in some other department. All of your data that you need to not only prove what you're doing to the FDA, but actually to ensure that the product that you are producing, that final product that rolls off of your line going to packaging, is customer safe. It's all right there in Maximo. So why Maximo for life sciences? Because it keeps you efficient. It keeps you cost effective. It keeps you safe. It keeps you legal. It keeps your customers safe. It keeps you in business. That's why you want to use Maximo. Maximo's built for the technician. Maximo's built for this kind of work. It's efficient for this kind of work. It integrates with Oracle. It integrates with SAP directly out of box. It's the right application. If you're in the life sciences industry and you want to stay compliant, you want your people to be efficient, you want your operation to be efficient, Maximo's the way to go. Wondering what it takes to get Maximo implemented? Wondering about an upgrade? Wondering about that looming Maximo application suite? Does it make sense? Should we go mobile? Great questions. It all comes down to your business processes, your practices, the types of assets you're managing. We offer a business value assessment to help you understand that. 99 times out of 100, the business value assessment comes back and shows that there's an opportunity for 2 to 3x savings over the cost of making the change, whether that be the upgrade or a fresh implementation. And it often exposes a lot of, let's say, hidden gems or hidden issues in the process that are critical to business. If it's a question of whether or not you should be keeping legacy data when you move forward, it uncovers all of that as well. There's a tremendous amount of value in that. It gives you a great understanding of where you really are and where you need to be. And hey, you know what? The rest of the world is not waiting while we sit here and figure out if we should go mobile or if we should upgrade software. There's a reason so much of the manufacturing is moving overseas, and it's because they're decisive and moving fast. Right now, the thing that's crippling us is this idea that we are attached to the dead weight of historical technology. Some cases, the answer is throw it away. Keep your base data, keep your assets, keep your inventory, keep your plans, get rid of the old transactions, move forward and get into the position you need to be into. So we're here to help to answer questions. Love to hear from you. Comments, questions below, subscribe. Look forward to chatting.